You're all gonna have to agree to it. Okay. Okay. Sorry, Laura. Say that one more time.
Very good. For knee extension, we said press tops of feet into mat and engage the quads.
Yep. Perfect.
And the last one was the ankle plantar flexion, tops of the feet into the mat and press tops of feet into the mat.
You got it.
So good twice.
Yep. And then what did you have for cues?
So for the transitional cues, hug elbows towards ribs and lower to the ground. We said that was directive and operative.
Because the word hug, operative.
Yeah. Tops of the feet to the mat was directive.
Yep.
Then for the regular cues, legs hip width apart or wider, we said was directive or operative.
Oh, tell me why operative.
So say you're the teacher and you look at somebody and you cue it out loud because you don't think that they're hip width apart, but in their body it feels like they are. That kind of thing. Or whatever is comfortable because of the wider stance.
Okay, I get it. I think it's, I think by default, just it's much more of a directive cue.
Yeah.
But I do see how you're saying you're feeling the width, so that's cool.
So then press tops of the feet and the mat was directive.
It could also be operative because of press and feeling.
And then engage quads, we said was only operative.
Yeah.
Press pelvis into mat was directive and operative. Then squeeze shoulder blades, directive and operative as well.
So I would say for press pelvis into mat and squeeze shoulder blades, I would tend to lean a little bit more operative here, but you're not wrong that they're also directive. I just think these are sensation-based feelings, pressing a lot of press. When you press down, you feel, when you squeeze, you feel. So it leans more towards operative for me, but they are also very directive. So
it's one of those fun gray zones.
Yeah, this is all gray, honestly. It's just about trying to, what you're doing is you're just sort of figuring out cues and what we're saying when we're saying. So yeah.
And then lift chest, little to no weight in the hands, we said was directive and operative too.
Yeah, I have more directive, but I can see how you can go operative there too. So yeah, really nice job. Anybody have any questions about that? Most people are okay with Cobra. Does anybody like want to do Cobra? Need to have me take a peek? Okay, so let's go to Chaturanga / low plank.
I just realized today when you were saying it that high plank to low plank isn't Chaturanga and low plank is Chaturanga.
Yeah, high plank to low plank is the transition, and then low plank is Chaturanga. It can be very confusing. So low plank, which is Chaturanga. Who wants to give me your assessment?
So for axial extension.
Can you guys hear her online? Annalise, you're gonna have to speak up a little bit more.
For axial extension, we said the cues are keep plank engagement, hug your elbows towards your ribs and lower towards the ground, and elongate from heels to head as you lower down.
Okay, so you said keep plank engagement, hug your elbows towards ribs and lower towards ground.
Yes.
And then what else did you say?
Elongate from heels to head as you lower down.
So I don't think that you're wrong when you say keep plank engagement, because you're in plank engagement. So in theory, you should already be in axial extension. I don't have that one. What I have is definitely elongate from heels to head as you lower down. That cue, elongate from heels to head, is an axial extension cue.
Okay.
The other one that I have here is engage core and quads, because you remember as people engage their core, there's a natural tendency to get a longer as they engage the core.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
For wrist extension, we said keep plank engagement and rock forward on the toes.
Yes, yeah, you can say that. The one that I have is bend the arms no more than 90 degrees, because that
Oh.
really helps to keep people in there. Most everything that's happening here, outside of what's happening with elbows and shoulders, it was already happening
Yeah.
in plank, right?
Elbow flexion, bend elbows no more than 90 degrees.
Uh-huh. There's another one I would add here, though.
The keep plank engagement, like your elbows stretch really low towards the ground.
Yeah, because it says hug your elbows in, right?
For shoulder flexion to shoulder extension, we said rock forward on the toes, that happens a little bit, and then keep plank engagement. Hug your elbows towards the ground.
Exactly. The big one here is the rock forward on the toes, right? So do you guys understand flexion to extension? Flexion, extension. So there's a movement where you're in flexion and you're going into extension as you come into chaturanga.
For scapular depression and scapular retraction, we said keep plank engagement, put your elbows towards the ribs, lower to the ground. And after what we've just been talking about, I think it would also be bend your elbows no more than 90 degrees. It's when we bend it, like,
Yes, you could have bend your elbows. Uh-huh. And then you could, what else? There's another one that helps with scapular depression.
is it rock forward on your
Uh-huh.
toes?
You got it.
For hip stabilization, engage core and quads.
You got it. Exactly. Engage core and squats. That is what's giving you hip stabilization.
For knee extension, elongate from heels to head and engage core and quad.
Yep.
And then for ankle dorsiflexion, rock forward on the toes.
Yep. And if you wanted, you could have elongate.
Okay.
But yeah, really rock forward on the toes gives you more dorsiflexion.
Rock forward on the toes, we said is directive and operative. Keep plank engagement, hug your elbows towards your ribs and lower to the ground, we said is directive and operative.
Uh-huh.
Bend your elbows no more than 90 degrees is directive.
Uh-huh.
Engage core and quads is directive and operative.
Uh-huh.
And elongate from heels to head as you lower down is operative.
Yeah, the only one we could have discussion around really here is elongate from heels to head as you lower down is could be integrative. For people, it's definitely operative, but it is a strange sensation when you think about it. It's not an intuitive move. It's not intuitive because it's not like there's something specifically you do that like suddenly like gives you this like length. You have to like feel into the body, like, am I lengthening like that?
Okay.
What am I doing to create that length? So, yeah. Okay.
For up dog, spinal extension, we said press hands into the floor.
Yes.
Wrist extension, press hands into the
Well,
floor.
hang on. The big one there, press hands into the floor, bring your chest forward, right? That's what gives you extension. Just like lift your chest in Cobra. Okay.
For wrist extension, press your hands into the floor, bring chest forward, palms
Oh.
of your hands and tops of your feet touch the mat.
Yeah, you can have that. I don't actually have anything big. Yeah.
Elbow extension with some flexion, press hands into the floor, bring chest forward, slight bend in your elbows.
Say that again, what you had for that one?
Press hands into the floor, bring chest forward, slight bend in your elbows.
Yeah, and I have one more here. Shoulders away from the ears. This is where shoulders away from the ears is an appropriate cue. We'll talk about shoulders away from the ears, but yeah, you could have that here. So, okay, next, shoulder extension.
Press hands into the floor, bring chest forward, and shoulders away from the ears.
shoulders away from ears. Yeah, you can have that one. Yep.
Scapular depression and scapular retraction. Press hands into the floor, bring chest forward and shoulders away from ears.
Bring chest forward, shoulders away from the ears. Was there another one?
Maybe slight bend in your elbows.
Yeah, I think you could use that too.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So for hip extension, we said engage glutes and quads. Thighs.
Yeah, and then this is the tricky one. This is kind of like in Cobra too. So remember when we said in Cobra, as you lift your chest, it also helps with hip
Oh, yeah.
extension.
Okay.
So bringing the chest forward
Okay.
here also helps with hip extension.
Okay.
Mhm.
For knee extension, we said engage glutes and quads. Thighs.
Yes. Another group really liked that palms and hands and tops of feet touched the mat because they felt like as you pressed, you had to press into the tops of your feet and you had to, that created extension.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, that's fine.
For ankle plantar flexion, flip to the tops of the feet and palms of your hands touch the mat.
Yep.
Flip to the tops of the feet, we said is directive and operative. Press your hands into the floor, bring chest forward, we said is directive and operative.
Uh-huh.
Engage the glutes and quads, thighs lift is operative.
Uh-huh.
Slight bend in your elbows, directive and operative.
Uh-huh.
Shoulders away from the ears, directive and operative.
I would say it's more directive than anything.
Okay, yeah. And palms of your hands and tops of your feet touch the mat, directive and operative.
So the last three I would say are mostly just directive,
Okay,
but if you're using it bend as a sensation, then I see where you get operative. I'm not sure operative out of palms of your hands and tops of feet. Touch, the touch.
okay, yeah, I can see that one just directive.
Okay, good. So we're gonna do these. We won't do Cobra, but we're gonna go plank to low plank. And then we're gonna do low plank to up dog, okay? But we'll just do plank to low plank first. So let's see. Those of you that are not feeling well, you do not have to do this. So if you don't feel well, I don't want you exerting unless you want me to look at you. And then just let me know. So just take a minute. The people here in the room are really taking a minute, y'all online. So don't you worry. Just like take a minute, move around a little bit. You don't go like right into plank to chaturanga. Do a little tabletop, do a little hip swivels, do a little leg stretch, extend one leg back, rock back and forth, extend another leg back, maybe do some sunbirds, whatever. Just move a little, just let your body open up and sort of feel.
This is sunbird.
Oh, it's when you're in tabletop and you lift opposite arm, opposite leg.
Oh, okay.
Remember in your tabletop, find that neutral in your spine. So many of us like to go into extension when we're in tabletop. Maybe take child's. Ooh, everyone yawning is making me yawn. Isabel, yeah, I was gonna say I won't be able to see you. And Keely, I won't be able to see you when you go down. I can see you there. Yeah, that's good.
Erica, I'm Kaylin.
Kaylin? Sorry. Why do I keep saying the wrong name?
You can say Kaylee or Kaylin, either one.
Kaylee or Kaylin? Was I saying Kaylee?
Yeah, I think so.
You're okay. Well, I'll call you Kaylin. That's
Very
because
well.
I'm looking at it and I was like, I swear she told me Keelan. I don't know what I thought. Don't worry. I'm sorry.
You're okay.
Annalisa's got me here. Kaylin. Got it. But I love that you just responded. You're like, whatever, this lady doesn't know my name. It's fine. I don't feel well. She's saying my wrong name.
All my family calls me Kaylee, so like I'm used to it. So either one is fine.
What would you prefer? I want to call you what you want to be called.
I don't know.
Think about it, and then after this,
Okay.
tell me. I'm just gonna call you Kay for right now. How about that? I'm just gonna call you Kay for right now. I can call you KL. Okay, are you guys feeling like you're ready to do a little something something here?
Oh, yeah.
All right, I love it. So why don't we get in, and if you really don't, like, don't, it's okay. Like, I know, Ryan, you're exhausted. If it's too much today to do plank to chaturanga, I don't care. Okay, take care of yourself. So let's get in, everybody move into plank, and you're gonna hold it here about 10-15 seconds, and then I'll let you come out, and everybody just do what you normally would do for plank. Is that where you normally all place your hands for plank? Isabel, that looks good. Okay, come out. Relax, shake it off. Laura, you still want to be really like compressed. So if it feels good, let yourself walk your feet back a little or your hands forward a little. I know you don't like it. You didn't like it last time. But just see if that feels better. Britt, do you normally have your hands like that? Because they were pretty narrow, that you just put them much wider. Is that
I
how
don't
you,
think so. I mean,
that, what you just did right there is what you were doing. So I'm just curious,
I was
is that,
anticipating we were gonna go into low plank. I was trying to keep my arms close to my body.
okay, but I want you to set up in plank, because where your hands are is where you want them when you go into low plank. And I just want to know what you're normally doing, because some of you, it may change where you put your hands based because of shoulders. I'll show you. So do what you normally do. I'm just curious. That looks like a better placement of your hands than what you had been doing before, because they were like really narrow. And that was going to make it really hard for you to come down. So just so you guys know, the more narrow the hand is, when you come into chaturanga, the less room you have to get into it. So a little bit of width when you're starting is not a bad thing. You can bring the arms in if you have really good upper body strength to maintain it. Oh, Isabel, look at that sweet baby. Okay, so Kay, will you go back in again? Just let me see you real quick. Yeah, that's good. Try pressing through the upper back a little bit more. Now, as you do that, press through your heels, look a little forward. Come more, now rock a little forward. I want you to have a little bit more length, because I feel like you could, yeah, that's what I'm trying to go for. Does that feel weird? You can come out. Yeah, it feels a little weird. Okay. It's hard to see from here. I think it's easier. Do you have a lot of hyperflexibility? Remind me. I think you do. Yeah, your elbow. Yeah. Okay. Just do what you were doing before. And Arpa, if you're doing anything, I can't see you. I can just see your TV. Okay. I mean, it's a little hard to see, but it looks okay. And Nicole, yours looked good. If you want to do it again, Nicole, I'll take a quick peek. Yeah, that's really good, Nicole. Yeah, Laura, and that looks better, Laura. Does it feel weird? No, you like that? Okay, good. She likes me. Okay, so now everybody go. So what we're gonna do is I want you to just do plank and transition into chaturanga. Cool? Let's do this first. Have everybody online go first, because I want to watch, and then you guys, and then I'll have you guys in the room. So online, you guys just go for it. All right, Kay, I'm gonna help you. Isabel, go do yours again. Laura, come out. Okay, I'm gonna help you, Isabel. Nicole, you wanna do ARPA? You can come out for a second. Nice, Nicole. Okay. Yeah, that's great. That's good. Nicole, the one thing you can do is maybe a little bit more hugging of the elbow, but otherwise it looks really good. So say that. Laura, you want to quick show me yours again? Because I think, Laura, the same thing for you is going to apply. I think everything else is looking really solid. Uh-huh. Yeah, actually, that's good. So come out, Laura. The one thing you're doing, though, you're kind of compensating in the hips. Your hips are lifted. You have like a little V of a hip there. That's okay. As you get strength in the core and the legs, you'll start to find a little bit more axial extension and a little bit more length. Okay. Okay. ARPA, do you want me to look at yours? If you want me to, you got to tilt your screen down more though. And that lovely fireplace, I'm going to love that. It looks awesome. She's got this like rock fireplace. Are you going to go into chaturanga, ARPA? No. Okay. So ARPA, come back to plank. Do you know how to get into low plank? So rock forward a little bit, bend your elbows and hug them into the side of your body. Okay. So ARPA, when we're in person next time, I'm gonna help you with this because you're missing chaturanga right there. But I'm not sure you have the strength to do chaturanga. You might need to be on your knees to do it, okay? Does that make sense? Do you normally do chaturanga or low plank?
I do, but I need to know the appropriate way of doing it.
So actually it won't be me because not next week, no, together next week in 2 weeks. Amy Kennedy will be here and I'll make sure I tell her to look at your guys through this because she's really good at this one, okay?
Mhm.
Okay, so hang on. If you guys want to watch, can you all see up here?
Can you get rid of the thing in the middle?
Let me, how do I, here? What's this? There. All right, okay. Okay, let's go for you. Let's see, go into your plank again, and then to your chaturanga. You got to really engage those arms. Okay, stop. So you see, do you see what she's doing here? So she's bringing her chin nearly all the way down to the ground. Is your chin touching the ground? It kind of looks like your face is almost in the ground. I gotta be honest. That's better. So, huh?
Close to the ground, but I'm not touching it.
Yeah, you look like your face is touching there, right? Doesn't she, you guys that are online? Okay, so here's the thing. So I want you to go back to plank. Now slow, go really slow, rock forward, bend elbows, hug them in, slow, stop. Come back up, push back up, push back up. Okay, when I tell you to stop, I want you to stop there because you're going beyond and you're dropping down a little bit. So rock forward, bend elbows, hug in and stop. Now look forward a little bit. She doesn't like that. You can come out, that's okay. So what you're naturally going to do, I don't see if you guys can tell, at least that looks from like it online, is you have a propensity to tilt down and forward. You're putting weight into the front part of the shoulder to try to get down as low as you're getting. You don't need to go that low. I want you to come back up and I want you to stop and I want you to work on strength because you have the ability to get down in there, but you're not using your strength. So yeah, now stop. Squeeze your arms in. Squeeze your shoulders, look a little bit forward, lift through your belly, hold your belly, engage your core, engage your core, engage your core. Good. Now start to lower from here. Do you see what she does? Good. She lets her whole, like this part of the chest just go down. So that move you can do that as you're making the transition, but I don't want you going there to hold chaturanga. So chaturanga is this, you're like plank to little low plank. You're coming, your body's doing that, you're coming down like this. And so it's really hard. You're gonna be real pissed at me because I'm gonna tell you to hold it. Because she also has hyperflexibility. So her arms they don't want to stay there. They want to go. That's what you want to do. It's just real natural for you to come into that space, but you tilt and tip into the front of the shoulder, and it can be really sore over and over and over again, especially if you already have chronic tension and tightness in your neck and your shoulders. So play with that. When you come to class in 2 weeks, I'll make sure Amy looks at you too, okay? So there's a little bit of difference there. I'd rather you be up a little higher, finding that strength. Then you can kind of sort of come down and find your swoop as you go into up dog, but not leaning into the swoop for your chaturanga. Does that make sense? Okay. Do you want to do it again?
Sure.
Okay. I'm not gonna give you cues. But now it's gonna be much harder for, That's a much safer transition for you than rather tilting into the shoulder and trying to swoop up.
Felt better.
Did it?
Pull so much on my elbow right here.
People think you have to have this like big swoop from chaturanga into up dog because you probably see people swooping. You don't have to do that though. That was a really nice transition. So play around, just play. Okay, cool. Isabel, you want to go?
Yes.
No, wait, Isabel, hold on. Okay. Okay. So can you do me a favor and tilt your screen up just a smidge? Yeah, good. Now go back to plank. Good. Now press through your shoulders, blades. There, not strong. Now from that, now look forward towards the top of your mat. Good. Now she's got some nice length here and some openness to the upper back. Now from here, rock forward on the toes, just a little bit. Now bend the elbows, hug them in, lower down slowly. Stop, look forward. Yeah, good. Now you can try to press up dog. So you, again, don't have to go down as far as you were going down. As you come down, you lose your strength. So a lot of people think you've got to be low in chaturanga because it's called low plank. But if you don't have the strength in the arms and the upper body, you can't be low. You're not going to hold it. You're going to lose and you're going to tilt and dip into places of the joints that just aren't comfortable. And over time, it's not going to feel great. So Isabel, did that feel different when I had you stop sooner?
Yeah.
Just a little bit, probably not. There wasn't a ton of change, but just enough. You're kind of like Kay in that, like, you're not as dramatic as Kay was, but you're kind of dropping a little bit. So do what you normally do and then do what I was having you do again.
Okay.
Okay. And it's probably hard to do what you normally do. She naturally stopped herself. Did you guys see that online? She didn't go down as low as you normally do.
Was that better?
Yeah, I think for you, it gives you an opportunity to build some strength in the upper body, right? And play with it and not like dump into the shoulders. You don't have to be low in chaturanga. It's no more than 90 degrees of the arm, right? So no more than means it cannot be 90 degrees, maybe 45 degrees.
Yeah. I feel like I like barely bent my elbows. Like I didn't before. I felt like I wasn't even going down to 90. So that's interesting that I was dipping so low and I didn't even realize.
Yeah. Do you want to do it in more or you feel good?
I'll do one more.
Okay. Do you want me to walk you through?
Sure.
Okay, so come into plank. So for you, it's really important here, press to the upper back, engage your core, turn your thigh, yeah, see there, you turned your thighs on, look, keep that looking a little bit forward, find that length. Now hold that, maintain that, start to rock forward on the toes, just a little bit, good. Now bend the elbows, hug them in and slowly lower down. Right there, do you see, right there is where you start struggling, so that's where I want you to hold it. Now just press back up to plank. Yeah, good. Now come back one more time to chaturanga, but reset, re-engage, re-engage. Now come down, hold, push, bend the elbows, come down, hug, 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 hug. Good. Good. And then from there, it's just an easy transition to up dog for you. You're
Yeah.
gonna build a lot more strength like that.
Yeah.
Good. Because that natural, what happens is you're taking strength out of the equation and you're just using your joints to get you through. Because you think you've got to go lower and you think you got to do this like swoop up to up dog. And I would honestly say, Isabel, for you, play with that. So I don't do up dog a lot. I don't enjoy it. It doesn't feel good in my body. So I do plank, low plank, press back up to plank, and then hold plank when people are in up dog. And then I go back to my down dog. And I just work on my strength. I just do a plank push up. And I enjoy that a lot. And then some days when I feel up to it, I go into up dog. I'm not telling you not to do up dog. I'm just saying I find that for me and my body, I enjoy that a lot more. I don't get a lot out of up dog. It just doesn't do a lot for me, especially because it's really hard for me to do this movement. I don't really enjoy it. So, cool. Okay. So now let's do my Anybody online have questions? Comments? Okay. So now let's do in the room. So you guys just take a minute, get warmed up. I'm gonna bring you guys to the side. Remember neutral spine. Yeah, and whenever you're ready. And then you go plank to low plank. Okay, good. So let's just kind of walk over this. So I gotta say, your plank looks so much better. I remember working with these planks now. So press to the upper back a little bit more. Keep that, maintain that. Come forward on the toes. Bend the elbows, hug them and slow. Stop. Squeeze. Good. Now just press straight back up. Come keep it, yeah. Feel a little different? A little bit. So go back one more time, let's do it again. So start in that plank, nice press through, good, be strong, and engage core, nice and strong, thighs engaged, good, now a little rock forward. And the elbow squeeze, 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 good, stop there. There, that's it, good, perfect. Okay. Do you normally go into up dog? Do you want to transition into up dog? Okay. Really nice. That's great. Love that. Does that feel good? Okay, perfect. Do you want to go or do you want to go? Okay. Good. So we know that upper body frame, this is where it's hard, so I'm going to have you squeeze the elbows in just a little bit tighter. Okay. See if we can give you a little bit more strength. Okay. Because it looks pretty good. You've worked on that since last time, huh?
My
Yeah.
downward dog is completely different.
Yeah. So squeeze. Yeah, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Come back up. Can I put my hands on you?
Yeah.
So come back, relax. Take a breath. It does a lot, right? Now, when you're ready, you can go. Step back forward. Done. Yeah, it's good, good, good. Squeeze. That's it. Yep. That's it. Perfect.
Okay.
It's good. You don't have to even come down that low.
Okay.
Yep, perfect. All right, ready, let's see. Good, okay, so. I was watching it down there. Okay, so come back up. I'm gonna help you just a little bit because where her weak point is right here in her nose. So now your hands are a little more narrow than they were. Is that where you normally put them? I know I keep asking you this, but you keep changing on me.
It maybe isn't the same all the time,
Yeah, that's okay.
but I would say somewhere right around here.
Okay, so let's just do it like that, and then I'm gonna have you change your hand position a little bit, so just to see what it feels like. Okay, so come forward a little, stay strong. Yep, then bend the elbows, hug in. Uh-huh. Go to where you normally go. Yeah, good, okay, come back up. So let's try, hands a little wetter, just try it.
I wonder if I do that sometimes because it feels more stable for my elbows, because I have mine do
Yeah,
that
they do that, uh-huh,
weird thing.
but you don't have to use your arms. Okay, so, press through here, yeah, engage, now come forward. Now bend elbows, squeeze, hug it, hug it, hug it, hug it, right there is where I would stop. That's really hard. And then you can go from there. Stop, stop. And then there's this natural tendency, because she has that hyperextension, she wants to hyperextend her arms. It feels really good for her. That's totally fine. Just watch the repetitive a little bit. So when I see you guys, so where your weak point is here, so when your weak point is here and you're dumping into the shoulder, when you're doing chaturanga, it can cause a lot of issues and it can hurt. So we want to build here and here because that's your weak point. And what happens is we try to avoid our weak points, right? So, let's see, can they see that? And you guys can see, right? So, right, press through here, find that nice length, come forward. What a lot of people do and what I used to do. Right now I can do this, it's fine. I can hold it, but it's really actually gives me a lot of like tension and tightness in through here. And that's what a lot of you are doing. So just changing that and just here, here, here. You just, there's more ease to it. It feels strange. Because there's more
I think-
engagement. Yeah.
I think the first one you just did is similar to what I look like. Is like what you look like is how I feel when I do it.
Yeah.
Yes, that is what you were doing. 100%. I can't see you, but let me come over here. That. Right. That tilting of the shoulder down, that's what you were doing. You can do it. But when you change it, you have to like, you're not engaging everything. You're just kind of dipping and tilting in. Like coming out and engaging is going to build your strength for you.
Yeah, and that's
Yeah.
what. Okay.
Yep, exactly. So Brittany, that's kind of where you're at, like just playing with that back and forth. And both of you, it's not, super common. Both of you have the extra mobility that your body's used to. So it's really natural to go do that. But I just want to be thoughtful around engagement of the musculature around the joints, because that you do that so often over and over and over again that you just don't want to create more, I don't know, create repetitive injury for yourself and miss out on building the strength and using the musculature to stabilize your joints. So
I hurt my elbow, my left elbow really bad a few years ago. And I do notice like when I work, like do plank or anything, like if I overdo it, it gets really stressed and strained. But yesterday, after class yesterday, and doing so many vinyasas and down dogs and everything, my elbows were both on fire yesterday, and I don't know if maybe that also kind of has, because like it hurts like back up into here and then like down into the joint. So I don't know if maybe that is part of the problem, and that would help me or not.
it could definitely be. I can't say for sure, but it could definitely be, and it could be that that repetitiveness is just giving you a little tendonitis through the tendon that runs through there. So yeah, so just be conscientious, notice when you start to play and change and engage your musculature around those joints, what feels different. Yeah, again, you guys aren't wrong for doing what you're doing. It's just we want to make sure we're giving you longevity with what you're doing. Yeah. Okay, so you're good. Do you want to do it again? Sure. Okay. Yeah, that just looks better to me. So the other thing I would really encourage you to do, let your hands be wide. So when I first started practicing, I had a pretty narrow base because I thought, well, I'm not that big, I'm not that tall.
Yeah, I got short.
And I have short, stubby fingers. The one thing in my life I would change was to have long, delicate hands. But my daughter's going to find there's a win there. And so really finding that little bit of rotation so that index and your points forward, and you just use that. And then you find pressure in the tip of the fingers, and then you use that. So your hands actually naturally rotate in. So come out so you don't like hurt yourself on your knees, put your hands on the ground. And just try taking your hands and letting the index finger point towards me, but let there be just this little bit of openness to the hands. What do you do for work?
I'm not working right now, but I was a CNA, a scribe for like 5 years.
Oh. Yeah, okay. That makes good sense to me then.
Yeah.
And you are so valuable in my life. Good. And then do you see how, I don't think you can see, but she's naturally puts herself in with her elbows, go into hyper extension or her range of motion, right? This is her range of motion. So
Yeah, I have to consciously turn it in, and that's been hard for me because
Yep.
they just.
yep. So yep, staying there and then engaging the arm. This is really hard work. Really hard work for you. I get it. So from there, now find your push through your upper back, push, down. And take there. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, but there's gonna be struggle and like it's gonna be an effort. And you can go from plank, low plank, back to up. You can skip up. Yeah, or you can do baby cobra. I do that too. I go plank, low plank, baby cobra, and then press through plank because I'm building strength into down dog. Yeah. Do you want me to look at yours already? Yours is pretty okay. But
It's
okay.
fine.
Okay. Do you want to go, Sarah? Sure. Have you played with feet width in class at all? Or leg width?
In my plate.
Just in general in your class? Okay. Hang on, I'm gonna try this.
Can we also,
Hang on, Laura.
never mind. Okay.
Great.
So, the only thing I would change is where you're looking. So you're looking straight down, so you have a little bit of tuck of the chin. Look right in front of your mat. Yes. She's really used to looking down. That's how her body knows how to do that. You're not even that far, so hang on. So like here, like that. Here. Great. I think that's good. Yeah. Down you can. I'm not even- Make an attempt. Laura, did you want to add something? Is that Laura? Yeah? Okay. All right, Emily. Wait, before you start, just do, never mind, just do. I really love you. Fastest. Yeah. There. Okay. So go back to play. Now, what am I gonna tell her? Push through your upper back. Yeah, now drop your butt, engage your core, thighs strong. So this is hard for her, you see? Push through your upper back. Between your shoulder blades. Like, I don't know. Good. Now, yeah, come forward a little bit. Bend the elbows, hug them in slow. Good. So do you see her hips start to drop and her arms? That's hard. This is hard for you, isn't it? That's why you like to go real fast. Yeah, that's okay. So come back to plank. Good. Now bend your knees. Put your knees on the ground. Now come forward. Now bend the elbows, hug them in, slowly lower down. Stop. Good. Now you can go to up dog or push back up. How's that feel? Even hard on your knees. Okay, so if it's even hard on the knees, I would suggest come to your knees to do your chaturanga. Okay, or if you're just not ready for it, you just work plank, because plank for you is hard. You naturally drop into the chest, into the shoulders in your plank, and you let your hips hang. So you got two things you got to work on, right? You have two places where the strength is required to stay elevated. So you can even do plank on your knees too. So take the option, build the strength, find that place for you. So do plank on your knees and just see what that feels like. There's no shame in that. Now press through your upper back. Can I tap here? Here, press here. Press through there. Turn this on. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Yeah, good. Now core. Strong. Just switch forward. Now you just lost it. Yep. I would say just doing your half through your knees. Give yourself that space, because you just said it's hard on your knees. Like if it's hard there, like let yourself be in that space to build the strength to do it. No one's watching that comment. No one's watching. And if they are, then that's their stuff, not yours. You're coming to your mat for you, and you want to do the thing that feels best for you, not try to keep up with the rest of the class or like make it look like somebody else's. Okay. And this is so common. This happens all the time in class because people think you're supposed to look a certain way when you're doing this half series. And it just, you can do whatever you want. Doesn't matter. Just do the thing that feels right and feels most stable in your body and spend time doing it. I mean, for like a year. I mean, I think it's been several years now. I haven't even done up that. I just don't even do it. I just concentrate on my plank, chaturanga. I have such tightness and congestion in my neck and my shoulders. I have to be very careful about when I'm doing this muscle. Because if I'm not doing it right, I complicate it and make it worse. So I go to something for being relaxing and strength building, and then I come out feeling worse. So, and I do on my knees a lot. I still do it on my knees. There's nothing wrong ever with doing on your knees. There's nothing wrong with not doing the whole thing. That's a reason that you guys teach it and show the variation, right? You give people that in class because we want people to be empowered to do the right thing for them. Cool. I think up dog we're just gonna leave. You guys all kind of transitioned into up dog. It's fine. The up dog looks pretty good once you guys are in there. Chaturanga is in there. Anybody online have any questions?
So are we gonna get into where you have one leg lifted as you do low plank in the later classes? Or can we go over that now?
I mean, I don't teach that, but if you want to go over 8 10, but before you're lifting one leg, you better have 2 legs on the ground and be able to do this with strength and stability before you're trying to kick a leg up in the air and lose one of your limbs to help you balance. But you can try it. Do you want to do it?
Yeah.
I'll watch it.
Can you see that?
Yeah, I just can't see because I have you on the big screen, so hang on, I'm gonna come look at my screen. So I can see your upper body. So do that one more time. Wait 1 second, Laura. I'm gonna put her off of this so I think you guys can see better. Because you'll be able to see your whole body. Okay. So, I mean, Laura, you have the strength. Your down dog looks better. You definitely put some length in there. You have the strength to do it. So I don't think you can not do it. Just you're moving very quickly through that transition. So I would encourage you just to take a breath between like plank, hold a breath, chaturanga, up dog, and then come up. So, but I think you have the upper body strength to be able to do it. So it's totally fine if you want to add that in. Okay. Yeah.
So I have a question. So with the leg up, it just, you have, when you're in your plank to low plank, the leg is up. And then when you're flipping to up dog, the leg goes down to meet the other.
I mean, you can leave your leg off the floor and up dog, but I wouldn't recommend it.
Well, yeah, is that a thing?
Some people do it, but I put it on the floor. Yeah. Do you want to do it?
Yeah.
You probably have the strength to do it too.
I don't know.
Can you guys see Sarah? Wait, hang on. Let me make this bigger. Yeah, your leg is up a little high.
What was that?
So try it again. You don't have to lift your leg up that high.
Is the only difference is when you're coming down.
Yeah.
But so, you said you don't have to lift your leg that high. Why? Like, what does that?
I mean, you just need to lift it to engage it. If you want to lift it to get some stretch through your hip extensor, you can.
Okay.
But you're just lifting the leg to create instability. So your body has to figure out how to balance on 3 limbs versus 4. And then you're just creating a little bit of length and strength. So lifting it higher is not going to give you anything additional necessarily. So just getting it off the ground, it takes the 4-limbed balance out and just makes your body think about it in another way.
Cool. Thank you.
Okay. So let's take a little break. Yeah. And then we'll come back together. We will do section 3. We'll grab a couple poses and then I'm going to have you guys end a little early today. Do you start at 12 or 12:30, Amber? Oh, you do start at 12:30 today?
The break's still time.
Okay, because last time it wasn't, so I wanted to make sure. Okay, so we got a little bit more time. All right, so just take about a, I don't know, 10-minute break, whatever you want. When I see you back here, I see you back.